thought I'd just give the people what they want right off the bat, a demo. So there you have it. A picture says 1,000 words, doesn't it? All right, friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marie. Today we're going to be talking about all things new from Gressa, the clean, green, minimalist skincare and makeup brand. They are an OG in this space. They are helmed by a beautiful woman named Svetlana. They have always had a minimalist approach. They have always had a very sophisticated approach to skincare and beauty. Their color palettes, as far as their blending and their just matching to skin, is just absolutely on point. From someone with an artist background, how she manages to really match the undertones of skin is just exquisite. I'm a longtime fan of their Minimalist Corrective Serum Foundation, of their lip boosts. In fact, if you look back at some of my OG videos, they're all about Gressa. I've always had a love affair with them. And so I really wanted to try their two new products, which is the Corrective Concealer and the Hydrate-Salt of the Earth Essence. I'll timestamp them if you only came for one. Although if you're a fan of them, I think you definitely need to hear about this product because it's phenomenal. I've been using this a lot and I am truly in love. So I have a rave thorough review on this. I have been using this concealer. This is more of a first impressions simply because I did not get the color that matched very well to my skin. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's start with the concealer, then I'll move into the hydrate. I'm gonna timestamp it, so if you only wanna hear about one, you can. So first up, the Gressa Essentialist Concealer goes for $34 for 2.5 mLs. There are 10 shades. I got the shade Creme Brulee. Now, it's really fun. It's a little makeup wand. You saw the clicking. You've probably seen it on Instagram. Right off the bat, one of the things that I wanted to say is with this little fluffy poof ball, it does not have a lot of give. It has a firm sort of point to it. So just FYI, if you thought you were gonna go squishing it into your skin, it doesn't have like a bounce and release. It's more like a pat, like a blotter almost. So just FYI on that. Quite a bit of product is dispensed with the 3 clicks. Definitely enough for quite a bit of concealing in just one session. Like I said, I bought the Creme Brulee, which is a light to medium with cool undertones. I've been playing with what my undertones really are, exploring the idea of color theory or color matching for your season. You know, I think Mercedes has, from L'Amour et la Musique, has inspired all of us about that. And I really do think there are aspects of me that have cooler undertones with warm undertones. I don't know, it has to do with my skin being so complex based on my melasma and my freckling and the way I tan. And anyway, needless to say, I bought the wrong shade. So let me just kind of compare it a little bit to RMS, okay? Because I've been using RMS on Cover Up for a long time as my under eye concealer. So obviously with Gressa, you're gonna have a much lighter, thinner formula. The RMS on Cover Up goes on like heavy, dense, balm-like texture, right? And even these guys in the world of concealers probably are considered pretty thin, but the RMS definitely has a thicker, more chunky glaze to it. More of maybe what you would consider like a concealer to usually have. So with Gressa, if you're familiar at all with their products, you're not surprised that this is much lighter, because that's just how she rolls. So for me personally, it does not have it has a very lightweight, very fine glossiness to it, not the overt dewy, glossy, high gloss glazed donut look of the RMS, okay? My only thought with this is, how do you get this to last? The formula feels so thin. However, I don't know how it works with Gressa. It's just like she kind of says, like, it's kind of magic. I feel like personally in the summertime, I would have to set it with powder. I'm in Florida now, I'm not in Hawaii, so I don't always have hotter days here. So I could get away with not setting things maybe in the way that I could not in Hawaii. The RMS always just seemed to stay in place in Hawaii because it has that thicker, denser formula. But the Gressa, I'll have to test it in the summer to see how it does, whether or not it has like a staying power. However, there is kind of the trend in greener, cleaner makeup that like reapplication isn't a bad thing. Like a little midday or a 1 or 2 o'clock or a 3 to 4 going to happy hour reapplication of your under eye concealer that wouldn't faze many people. Okay, one of the things that I wish is that she had arm swatches on her website. There is no arm swatches. So when I went to pick my color, it was really kind of difficult for me to see where I would land on the color spectrum. Because I didn't want something too warm. I wanted something under eye that like brightened things up, but this is just a little too bright for my skin tone, which is again my own fault. But it does make it hard when you don't have samples. And that's one thing I've always loved about her concealer is she has samples. So Svetlana, if you watch, is there any way you can do samples? Because you've always been a leader in knowing that people needed samples for your corrective serum foundation. So do samples if you can. Okay, ask any questions away. I don't have much more to say than that. I'm really only using it as an under eye product and time will tell. But I'd like to say, like, just right off the bat, it is a thinner formula. And one thing that is lovely about it being a thinner formula is that it does not settle into fine lines the way that the RMS does. 2 hours into wearing RMS, you're like, oh, there's these kind of, you know, if you have a lot of under eye area wrinkles like I do, it's settled into all your fine lines. I have not noticed that with Gressa at all. Because the formula is thinner, it's lighter, it's smoother, it's just kind of like effortlessly blending into skin. So already I'm impressed with it. I might have to just break down and buy another color, another shade for my skin. All right, let's jump in and talk about the Hydrate Salt of the Earth Essence. It is 50 mLs for $44. They call it a mix between a toner and an essence. You know, essences really came on the scene when beauty got heavily influenced by K-beauty or Korean beauty. And an essence really tends to have a lot more hydrating ingredients added to it, tends to be a thicker, more gel-like consistency. And so this does have a very true to essence texture. It's clear, rubs in beautifully, a little goes a long way. So you're saying $44 for 50 mLs. Well, I'm telling you, this product's gonna last. It has a gorgeous spread to it. It has a lightweight, barely there smell, slightly floral, not overpowering in my mind, I would say. Now, if you're familiar with the use of essence toners or like the 7 layers of toner essence method, you'll know that these types of products tend to be like slightly sticky or tacky because they have a lot of maybe glycerin or hyaluronic acid, which this product does in fact have. It has hyaluronic acid. But here's where I think this product is gorgeous. Here's how I've been using it. On its own, I did not like it, because when I applied it, I had that slightly sticky, tacky, hyaluronic acid, glycerin-y feel that I don't love, which sometimes makes my skin just feel really icky at the end of the day. But I started mixing it daily with 1 to 2 drops of Les Prunier's plum oil, and it transforms into this gorgeous, like, protective layer that feels like a primer with silicones in it. I'm telling you, it's wild how it does that. But it literally feels like you've got silicones all over your face, which if you've ever used a silicone primer, I'm not gonna lie, they're lovely, okay? Silicones are lovely even though I don't choose to use them. So when I found this product would kind of do that, had that little secret sort of, I don't know what the oil does, but like when you make a little micro emulsion in your palm, it just immediately takes the stickiness away and just creates this sort of gloss like primer finish. And so I've been using Earthwise Beauty, the Ambrosia Docerado as my like first layer. Then I put this, and then I put like just a little dab of moisturizer on my forehead where I tend to dry out, and then I'll put my Impeccable Skin Sunscreen by Suntegrity. And my skin has just been looking flawless. And we've had some cold days here in Florida. We've had like some runs of 60 degrees, 40 degrees a week at a time, stuff that I wasn't prepared for. Coming from Hawaii, I thought it was gonna be hot and humid here all the time. No, they have a winter. I've experienced winter. The only type of winter I can handle, I think. Anyway, this product kind of really saved my skin because I was really used to dealing with more humidity, and when it started to get drier, I was like, shoots, what am I gonna do? And just more oils isn't necessarily the answer when you're trying to boost topical hydration. So this product came along and I'm just smitten. I'm smitten with it because this is the answer to her whole line of products, because it creates that sort of silicone primer feel, which extends the life of the pigments and the thinner, more smooth formulas that she has for her makeup products. And so this is just sheer brilliance. And I originally ordered it because she uses salt in the formula. And I am a huge fan of salt, and most people think of it as drying and it's not a skincare ingredient, but actually it just has a lot of therapeutic properties. And the mineral content of salt tends to soften skin in the way that clay does. So I just absolutely love it. It just feels so gorgeous. My skin has been doing really well, and yeah, it just extends the hydration all day and extends the life of whatever product you're putting on top of it. So any questions you got, drop them in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in. Later on this week, I'm gonna have a would I repurchase, a couple things in stories, so look for those. Thanks for watching, bye.